Hello, everybody. I'm sorry, I'm a couple minutes late, and it's absolutely my fault. I've been sitting in the front of this computer, I switched everything on, and then I thought, like, oh, I will just look up something online. And I opened another screen so I don't lose this one, and there I am. And it's like, oh my God, thank you for waiting, and I'm back. And yeah, it's now week 8, I think. Oh my God, it's second month. It's nearly end of second month. So we started on 24th of March, this kind of lockdown business. But yeah, so we are still here. The weather is still here. So yeah, and hope you are there because I can see some of you are still watching. I hope you are the same crowd who has come back. And of course, newcomers, all the boys and girls, or girls and boys. Yeah, thank you for coming back. So what we will be doing today, or what I will be talking about, and hopefully some of you will maybe even chat with me. I think the first one will be kind of general rant and happenings, what's been going on and what hasn't been going on, and yeah, you possibly the first thing. Oh, and then an end, we will go through the projects and the knitting, what I've been doing, and kind of talk about that. The first things, I'm quite chuffed with myself. And this is kind of when the situation puts you to be very self efficient. And then I started to think, and actually, there could be something else in it. So basically, hopefully, some of you have noticed I have done something with my hair. I have chopped my hair. I have put some pictures on the Facebook, on my personal Facebook, which you can access if you look for me. And before and after, and this is how 2 hours alone with a box of hair dye and scissors looks. And this is something which I realized, I hope none of you who are watching, no, that's wrong. I do hope that you are hairdressers or beauticians who are watching, because since I moved nearly 20 years ago, since I moved to England, and I must admit, even when I moved to Prague and I worked there for 5 years, it took me a couple of years to find the hairdresser. Here, 20 years later, I'm still changing and chopping. And it's funny because please don't start to comment, oh, I know this lovely girl, she's lovely. And I don't doubt it. There are lots of lovely girls around. It's like funniest thing is even in the lockdown, because I was kind of gearing up with my hairdressing kit, and I was looking for more hair kind of clips to hold the hair away. And in one of the, I'm not naming superstores where they sell all the cosmetics and things. There was one lady on the counter, and we were both kind of in a socially distancing and dithering, and we had a good laugh. And she said, "Oh, I know local. Oh, she is such a lovely girl." And God bless. Of course, this lady meant the best. And I'm thinking, I don't want my hairdresser to be lovely. I want my hairdresser to be professional. And I know from some of you, I have said that story before. For those of you who've been in the shop, my best haircut, I was already living here, and I think now nearly 4 or 5 years ago, when I went back to Prague, and I booked myself, admittedly, because the pricing there is different. So there you can go to really posh place in the capital for the same money as you go here on what they would call a branded salons. So the expense was same, but the service was totally different. And when I got in a chair, the woman looked me up and down, and she said, "I hope I can cut your hair today." That's what I want from my hairdresser. And I said, like, well, what would you like? What do you think I should be doing? And she said, well, I think you should be doing this, 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 and this. How about that? I said, yeah, all right. Just don't chop top short. Yep, fine. 2 hours later, I came out with the best haircut in my life. I wasn't asked 100 times, oh, how does that feel? Do you think we should chop it there or there? I hate that. I physically hate that. I come for service. I don't want you to be nice or lovely. I want you to be good and professional. And that's sometimes there we come, like last time, I was kind of touching on the things where maybe it's a language issue. But here I find sometimes uh, people start, or I'm confusing what people mean. There is one thing which is good manners. That is one thing which you can't skip. Good manners should always be there. You should be polite when you can. But why on earth do you always have to be nice? Why do we make us feel that we have to be nice, whatever? And I think being nice can camouflage so much of unprofessionalism. Everything, as far as you are nice, you are all right. No, you are not. Because what happens when this nice girl says, "Oh, isn't this lovely? Do you like the color? Oh, yes, darling, it's very lovely." But I'm not coming back. So, anyway, so that's my little rant of the day. But basically, a box of hair dye, but I've been doing my roots anyway. So, otherwise, you can see from the previous videos where I was getting really faded out and grey rooted. And then I watched, guess what? YouTube videos on, like, my ex-sister-in-law commented on my post on the Facebook. She said, like, what's next? Dentistry? And I answered, well, if there's a YouTube video for it, why not? So watch this space. And I started to think, actually, in that afternoon, I saved myself. In a good salon, you would be paying like, what, £50 for a good haircut, blow dry? And you will be paying like 30, what, 30, 25, 30 pounds for roots. That's, just an average. And then I would come out and I would think, yeah, it's all right. I will repair it slightly at home. Yeah, so that's my experience. I know it's not perfect. And I know here you can just slightly see where my kind of angles haven't been 100% correct. And there. But I would say, please don't do it at home if you're not prepared. Because when I started, I thought, like, well, what's the worst case scenario? What is the worst case scenario? I have headscarves. I can wear this lovely scarf, like, just tie around and nobody will see. So that would be another solution. This exception is getting too hot. So yeah, I'm quite chuffed. I'm quite pleased how it's not that bad. So, and I can wear, I don't want to do it now, but I can wear as I started, I can wear the fringe either way. So I can do whatever I like. So I'm pleased with my haircut. And no, I'm not changing my trade. But now, once I have now chopped it shorter and I know where on the back there is a little bit, and I know I made a mistake when I was doing the line there. I went up there and there is a little, but in a month's time, nobody will see it. Meanwhile, and same thing, I thought, like, well, we're getting very self-efficient in these kind of lockdowns, isn't it? It seemed like beauticians. I think, again, there is two types of services. You can go to beautician or you go to spa with a friend, and mostly it would be like, the day would be, what? Spending with friend. Enjoy it. Whatever they do to you. And there are treatments which you might, very kind of medical professional laser, which you might not do at home and not highly recommended at all to do yourself. But to do for like a regular, I know ladies who go for regular face masks and, like once a month, or they go for kind of just slap on and lay flat and then clean it off. And I'm thinking, like, why do I need somebody else to do it? For that money you pay for, I hope seriously that you are no beauticians watching. Just for same money, you can go and buy a really nice face mask, cleanser and whatever, and just do it yourself once a week. There you go. So yeah, it's not that it seems like applies to I think we're getting very self-efficient. And yeah, so that's I think my general rant and kind of show off on my new hairstyle finished. The other good news is today I walked to town and the fish van is back in Tiverton. So I bought nice lemon sole for our dinner. So we will have nice fresh fish today. So if anybody interested, I think they are there. The chap said he will be back next Friday, and I'm not sure what's on Tuesday, but it might be Tuesday as well. But let's say next Friday if you are in the area. So in the market, the fish man is back. The other thing which I would like to touch is, again, I know it's difficult to understand nowadays because now, when everybody is going on how confusing the government rules are, the rules are not confusing. I don't think anybody can apply the same rules to everywhere and everything. It's like when they say to go to work if you can't work from home, and that depends on the workplace. Because in the end of the day, how the government can issue guideline to every single company and every single premises, it's like I hope soon they will, which we hope, but please, this is not a date when the small shops can open because it's not announced officially. But we hope, because he mentioned something about maybe from the 1st of June. And even then, if you need to apply social distancing in shops, how the government can provide the social distancing rules for every single shop selling such a huge variety of products that it's impossible. So I think we need to kind of employ common sense. And it's like today walking through to Tiverton. I mean, common sense? Really? I mean, there's so many people on the streets, and some of them really wandering aimlessly. And yeah, so in the shop, that was mainly what I was trying to kind of aim for. The shop is closed, but we are not closed for business. The business operates from website and over the phone or email. So we are open for business, but the shop is closed. So that's two different things. And yes, we do still sell wool, so that's another question. But the shop, you cannot visit shop. When it opens or when the government gives the next step announcement, then we will start definitely open curbside pickups so you can order online. I will again open up the click and collect in Tiverton store option for your deliveries. And I will need to decide how we operate a shop. Can I let two people in and browse safely? Which, when I observe how people act on the street, it's very, very worrying, because there are some people who are very cautious, very conscious of their surroundings, and there are people who are just totally oblivious. And again, we're coming back to the same point. How can you safely browse in a wool shop? Again, the conscious people will possibly not pick up items which they are not interested. They will not rub it against themselves, their hands and cheeks and faces and necks. But there is such a large group of people who just are not aware of what they do. So the chances are that the first step possibly will be reduced hours, and it will be possibly a space where you can come indoors. There will be my table, and it will be like old days over the counter. When you tell me what you want, I can bring you options, show you the options, and you can say, oh, I like that one. I will have 3 balls of that, 1 ball of that, and these needles. And pay for it and take it away. But you cannot physically browse the shop. But I will say it's kind of, at the moment, it is still guessing game. Otherwise, it still would be very strict that it's only two people at a time, which in June really shouldn't be when the big kind of, I think the first couple of weeks will be a bit of struggle. There could be quite a few people coming in desperate for things. But two people at a time. There will be table with sanitizer, hand sanitizer, which you have to use before you start browsing. You leave your shopping bags and bags at the entrance safely, because if there's only two people in, there's no problem with stealing things and losing things. So then you can browse, bring it to the till, pay for it, and then go. But that's kind of all, whatever. When it happens, it happens. Other thing, before we go on to the project, remember last week I asked you, as I said to you, I'm clearing out a lot of bin ends. So if you go on our website, the offers change nearly daily, depends how quickly they sell out. I'm now constantly adding, let's say there is 5 balls of that or 2 balls of that, or things which I'm just finding in a shop and think like, I don't need it anymore. So with that, we are tidying up quite a lot of space. And I would like to replace it with something. And I did put competition. It runs up to the Monday over the weekend until 18th. I think it's Monday, isn't it? And it's on the Facebook and Instagram on our accounts, where you can win £25 voucher. All you need to do is to let me know which brand you love, which is the yarn which you always come back to. The one which you come in the shop and you think like, I don't know what I want to do. Nothing really excites me, but I need to do something. Oh, I will just have 2 balls of this. So which one is that yarn which I'll just have a couple balls of this because it will always do. And I have the funniest answers. Please, if you do, let me know. Please be specific. Don't tell me you like all Rowan. Yes, Rowan is great, but which Rowan? Do you like felted tweed? Do you like alpaca classic? Do you like cotton? Do you like linen? It's like I need a bit more direction. I need help. And direction. And I shouldn't be saying that, but I have to. Because people comment, and they try, they've been trying to be helpful. But there was something which said, I always do, I can't remember what, but, I don't know the brand. Well, how do you always buy it if you don't know the brand? That's my question. Because I need to know, because otherwise I can't help. And I really would like to have something which everybody can come back to. Anyway, so that's my problem, really. Now then, something nice. I have been very energetic. It seems like, now there we go. When you fringe. Now then, who is doing? Can somebody indicate with thumbs up or something like that? Who is doing the West Yorkshire Spinners cushion from last week, which started on the Monday, the first square for the cushion crochet? I know some of you should be doing it. Some of you should be doing it. And remember I showed you I didn't want to do it in original colors, and I wanted to do it as a bag. I'm sure you have the pictures. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go on West Yorkshire Spinners on their crochet along on their website. If you search for West Yorkshire Spinners on their official website, there is crochet along part 1 available for doing a crocheted cushion in 3 colors in the UK. And this one is the first square. My one is slightly smaller than required size because I'm using smaller hook. I think they ask for 4.5 millimeter hook, and they're using Color Love DK. So this is what I managed to do. Doesn't look very good. It looks very orange, but it's nice, kind of very bright, vibrant red with a little bit of shimmery gold. And this one should be my handbag. And now I tried it. I tried to like it. I think I don't mind the color and I quite like the gold, and the camera really is not showing the true color at all. It looks nearly as orange as my cardigan, but it is red. Trust me, it's nice red. And it's quite summery red. But I don't like the color work in crochet. I hated every minute when I was doing it. It's not that I don't like the result. The result is nice. But my God, I hated every minute. I must admit the instructions were, I would say, reasonably comprehensive. And it showed you how you do the color work change, and it tells you that you need to, when you, for those of you who don't crochet, excuse me, I will go into detail on this, because when you do the color work, when you pull the thread on a double crochet, then you pull the first pull through the base, and if it's a color work and you need to change the color, now you need to know what color your next stitch is, and you need to change the color on the last pull, so you finish the stitch with the next color. Oh my God, if you have like color changing, like one color to, every stitch, like you have one. Oh my God, I did nearly every stitch I did twice, because of course you forget to change the color on the stitch before. And on this one, it actually, I gave up, because until I realized, can you see here it should be like a triangle, little triangle coming, and can you see how distorted it is, looks there? It's because I forgot to change the color in a stitch before, and I thought, like, this is I will call it my deliberate mistake. So because nothing is perfect, so yeah, so this one is kind of my struggle square, and I'm thinking, like, am I prepared to do another two, or shall I wait, because you're supposed to be doing 3 of them, or I will wait till Monday until they release the next square, and whatever it is, even if it is the plain color ones, which are kind of with a little bit like, looks like a cable on top, I hope it will be more pleasant crocheting than this. I mean, it, like I said, the result is fine, and I'm sure that once it's all put together, it will be lovely. But I hate doing it. It's funny, because I find, and that's where I have had sometimes people in a shop saying, oh my God, my phone is ringing. No, I'm not talking to them. Sorry, I will switch them off. Oh God, I can't even switch them off. Shush. Shush, sorry. Sorry. I didn't realize my phone is here. Oh, I can show you now. Yeah, I've got it here, that's why. Because I thought I left it in another room. Now, when I know it's here, I can show you the cushion. Come on, gallery. Open. Oh, come on, cushion. Come on. There we go, layout. Can you see that is the West Yorkshire Spinners cushion we're talking about, and that is the square we were doing now. So I hope that this square or that square will be better. So yeah. So that's as far as I have gone on the color work. And like I said, my one is slightly smaller size, but that's all right. I should have enough for the back. My back, that's how my back looks. Not perfect, but it's all right. And I'm not using Color Lab. I'm using Rico Cotton Essential DK. That's the red. And this one is Cotton Metallisé from Rico. But it's purely because I wanted to make a bag, because I thought we have plenty cushions at home. And now to my big project. My waistcoat I even didn't brought in because I haven't knitted a row. Because this took me 2 evenings. Whew. Yeah, there we go. That took me 2 evenings. And that's why I'm waiting for the next squares, and I will just, if I like them more, I will just do more of the other squares. Because it really doesn't matter, does it? We just add our own twist. And now, do you remember these two balls which were bothering me? I have started the big project, and the balls are still bothering me. No, not really. There we go. Because I've been knitting this one. And as much as I said, I like the result of that, but I hate doing it. And even though I don't mind crochet in general, but this particular technique is just not working with me. And I know when you go online, you see these people doing these most fantastic mosaics and all the rest of it in the color. I just, no. But then again, I love this. This one, normally, for me to do another project on the same pattern as I've done before, I just don't do these things. But as I paid enough money for the pattern, I thought I would better have the value out of it. Let's knit another one. And I'm just being careful. So what we're talking about is Stephen West's Fantastitch. This one is the first version, which is kind of, because I used the wool and merino and kid silk in this one. This one is more wintry. And at the moment, even though there were some mornings when you think like, oh my God, so Martin is covering and uncovering potatoes every night because it's been freezing here. So he's trying to save our new potatoes because potatoes apparently don't like frost. Oh, no, I pulled the stick. No, I pulled. Right. Talking of knitting this one and this yarn, it's okay. The yarn is okay because I was worried because this one is, again, Rico Cotton Degradé. And the yarn comes, it's not woven yarn, it comes like 4 separate strands. And it's always a little bit worrying, and you do have to pay attention so you don't leave some strands behind. If you are a very tight knitter, you might struggle a little bit. But in general, the idea was the original scarf has 7 colors. This one will have only 2 balls, and it will have the color change coming in from the reel. And I'm glad that you can just about see how this green has finally turned into the beige. See, I'm now on a beige, and the pale bluey, kind of nearly purple lavendery grey has turned into bluey dark grey, and now it will go darker. And then you see the end of the shawl could be totally different color. The only thing I'm always forgetting how much yardage is on this ball. So I have on this ball, which started with the purpley grey, I haven't passed the full grey section. You see, there is still, I would need to reach like a proper color change. You see how far I still need to go. This one, because I have used a bit more on the green, I have just about dropping off or knitted out the last green bits out of this. So it is kind of, you can just about, I think in the row before, you can see how on this part, there is still quite a lot of greeny bits. Can you see that? Yeah. And now I'm on using the grey. But this one is one of the projects which just, I wish I wouldn't stretch my project all over the place and pay more attention or put some kind of stoppers on end when I'm doing this. Put sticky tape on end. Because this is kind of, we're getting quite in the middle of the shawl, and the color changes will start to come now faster because obviously the rows are longer. But this, I truly enjoy doing. Like I say, normally for me to make another one in the same pattern, it's like really, I never ever do that. I knit the pattern once, even if it works, even if it's the nicest pattern. Oh, to do it again, it's boring. So yeah, so and on this one, if you compare, this one shows, you can see there is the V shapes, and then I still have quite a wide section there. Oh, and this one was actually the small version of the shawl. If I want to do a bigger version, if I have enough yarn left, I can have another wide kind of eyeletty section. So that would enlarge the shawl by at least this much. So I will see how much yarn I have. And yeah, then I have another, what else I have on the go? I have that Isager waistcoat, the favorite places on the go. I have something else on the go. I have another Stephen West shawl, the yellow and black one, yellow, white, grey, and black on the go, which is 2/3 done. And then I found this last time I showed you my little lacy top, which I hope I can still fit in, which I want to finish. Because really, all I need to do is just, I think, there's this much left to do on both sides and the shoulders. But because originally it was a jumper, and I was intending to knit it as a jumper, I always looked at it like, oh, well, I will never get to do that. But now I'm thinking, like, actually, as a sleeveless kind of pullover, like a cover on the top of the t-shirt, it would be quite interesting. So yeah, so that one I will hopefully finish. And I haven't had a chance to start my owl drawings. I want to start my owl, and I will see. Because yeah, I want my owl. So what else I have done this week? Oh, talking of drawings and paintings, has anybody of you actually went back and looked on the BBC4 on the Joy of Painting, 7 o'clock in weekdays? I don't think it is today, but it was last night. It's called Joy of Painting. And I actually searched on a Google, and the chap, I can't remember the name, that's terrible. But he has quite a wide YouTube following. And if any of you ever consider doing any landscapes, I just love the speed and the easiness, and I love his way of explaining things. Everything is very calm, and he says exactly what he does, and he doesn't give you unnecessary information which is sometimes too overwhelming and you can't remember it anyway. But he tells exactly why you should be doing it, and that's what I like. And even Martin, we both sit and watch how to paint program for half an hour every night. It's our evening's kind of entertainment. Besides that, we're getting very good at little snooker. We have a mini snooker table, which he got somewhere cheap. The only problem with that is that where it is, nobody in a house, in a normal house, you don't have room big enough. So you can walk around your snooker table and you can do, there's enough space. There are certain points on the snooker table where we need to unscrew the key because there is not enough room to do the hitting. So it's like, oh God, we have a good laugh, and we are not competitive at all. Not competitive at all. But I do manage to win sometimes. We are not competitive. So we have our kind of evening entertainment is half an hour. We watch Joy of Painting without actually doing it. I can now understand why people watch like a Master Chef or something, which I think like not another cooking program, isn't it? But so we watch Joy of Painting, and then we have half an hour for snooker, and then I can do my knitting. So life is very, very exciting. But anyway, yeah. So, and I just wanted to say, like, I mean, it's like with everything, some people like some other things, but the joy of painting is really, really, I'm amazed. It's like 1980s. I think it's 1984 or something like that when it's filmed. So it's not like a new one. And then on was it Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday. I was so looking forward to, because they were pushing, BBC was pushing it. There was the live drawing live, or a live drawing live, or something like that. And I thought, oh, that's quite interesting. I would like to see how to draw, humans and things like that. Not that I would be doing it, but you always can watch a video. And you know what? 15 minutes in the program, they even haven't told what materials you will need. And I thought, like, all they were doing is like, oh, how wonderful it is. Oh, it's so wonderful to have this person participating. Oh, how wonderful. I'm so honored to be asked. And I'm thinking, this is 15 minutes gone. Do I care how honored you are to be asked? All I want to know is how to do it. So that's why YouTube better. And yeah, so, and that guy, the Joy of Painting, I think if you search for Joy of Painting, he should be coming up. And yeah, so I'm quite enjoying that. So watch this space. I could be knocking landscapes out half an hour. And that's the funniest thing. He has 30-minute program from start to finish. And he starts and finishes the painting without cutting and editing. So you can see him starting the painting and 7:01, and then 7:29 you have the picture in the front of you. I realized that this one is exactly like it happens with all the people who go to classes, where you see this finished object and you think like, oh, isn't this wonderful? Of course I will do 10 times better. And this one is all done in half an hour, and then you realize that actually, and maybe it is years of training. But anyway, so that is my little rant for today. I think we better kind of round it up, because otherwise I start to repeat myself again. And I will see what I can get up to. Well, next week, I hope I would be on this one, and nearly I would do, if I would do a small version, I might I should be getting somewhere up to there from the V-shapes down to there, I hope. And then I will need to make my big decision. Do I make the big one or small one? But that all depends how much yarn I have left and where I am on the color combos, because I think, because this one has the blue and this one has that kind of nutmeggy yellow, and the nutmeggy yellow comes just after that bright turquoise, and I will see, if the turquoise is kind of nearly used, and that would be then on a shawl itself, then would I do the edge in that and the paler grey? The zigzaggy edge, yeah. So there is kind of decisions to make. And I hope to see you all back next week. I hope that maybe, yeah, next week I will see you again on a Friday, 3:00, sis. So no changes for next week, as there is no bank holidays. I know there's some bank holidays coming soon, isn't it? End of May, but does it matter? We're all sitting at home anyway. Yeah, so that's it. Keep safe. Do not wander streets if you don't want to. No businesses are not open for customers. It's only the same food stores and essentials. And yeah, takeaways, obviously. Apparently, Martin said that somewhere on the internet there were news that one of the big takeaway chains opened drive-through somewhere in the country, and there was such a hoo-ha, and that they ended up calling police. Yes, you sometimes do wonder, isn't it? I wish it would be, let's say, headline news after the shop opens in Tiverton that, oh my God, the riots in the street because the wool shop was open and they didn't have enough stock to serve everybody. That would be the news, wouldn't it? On that note, enjoy your weekend and see you all next week.